Hey everyone, it's Josh from Type the Word. Wanted to give you an update on like what's happened this past month in Type the Word and just kind of run through the features so you can know what to expect as you're using it this month. To start, on the homepage, I added a bunch of quotes from you guys. In my own life, like my testimony is like the best tool I have for speaking to like the character of God and what He's done in my life. And in a really small way, I wanted to just add your guys' testimonies of how like Type the Word has been helpful to the homepage. I had 3 quotes here before, but now I'm like in a more structured way gathering those quotes. So if you have a quote you'd like to share, I'd be honored to have you on the homepage. And so just like let me know, reach out, and I'll get you added here. And if otherwise, I would like encourage you guys to just like go read some of the things people are saying. This has been like also super encouraging to me. So if you've already given me a quote to put on the homepage, just like I'm honored and grateful that God's used Type the Word like this, and that people even have quotes that they want to share. So that's really sweet. The other thing I did this month, which is over here, or one of the other things, I have a bunch of things, so I might just say the other thing and then say 7 more things. But is I created this like keyboard shortcut dialogue. So this is just like a list of like actions you can take from like throughout the product. So for example, if you want to go to the homepage, I currently have that set to be Option H, and that will basically take me here. I can then go to the history page with Option Y. I can, if I'm on like a passage, I can use like Option Shift P to like focus the passage selector. So, and then pretty easily like switch to a different scripture. If you are using this with Google Classroom, you can like jump to the classroom with this shortcut down here. And then there's also like, there's gonna be more like keyboard shortcuts coming. So if you have a shortcut you want to have added, let me know. These are also customizable, which is nice. I mainly, when I was creating this, was focused on macOS. And so when I went and tested it on Windows, there were some like conflicts with system keyboard shortcuts. I need to like basically go through and like redesign the Windows keyboard shortcuts. I'm also open, if anyone has strong opinions about keyboard shortcuts and uses Windows, I'd be happy to collab on like the defaults. But for the meantime, you can like remap them however you want. So for example, if I wanted to make the homepage shortcut like Option Shift H, I could just like click on this guy and record my own shortcut. And then that's also like resettable. So just keep that in mind. If the defaults don't work for you, you can remap them yourself. Something else I did is I added 2 new like kind of like deep links to specific actions. So for example, if I want to go to the last place I typed, I can just go to locations last typed, and this will automatically navigate to like the last place I was typing. So for example, if I go to history, you can see on Friday I was typing James 3:18, and if I go to James here, 18 is the last verse, and so my last typing location is like James 4:1 because it's the next verse I have to type. There's also another deep link for like next action. So this is kind of the next thing I need to do. If you go to the homepage, I have this action where I'm typing like James 3:1 through 4:17, and within this segment, the next verse I need to type is James 3:2. So that's why that's the next action. Something that is going to change soon is, which I need to go to the homepage, is I want to make these like reorderable. So you can, like right now when you create an action, it's just kind of in the order you created them. I want to make it so that like this next action is is like actually the top one. And then I also want to make it so that there's a keyboard shortcut for like cycling through the next places you wanted to type. That's coming in the future though. The other thing, or one of the, I told you I was going to do it. One of the other new features from this month is this new memorization mode called First Letter Only. So I can actually go to my Master the Tongue goal, and I have an assignment created already. And if you want to create your own, you just need to select this like First Letter Only mode. But basically what this does is kind of an intermediate step from typing the full thing or reading it for the first time and actually having it memorized. Sometimes I just want to have like volume of like going through the verse over and over again. And so what this allows you to do is basically just like type the first letters. So if we put bits, if you guys remember, I'm trying to memorize James 3 and 4. If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. So like what I've been doing is like just typing the first letter and also saying the word out loud. It's like faster than me typing it, but it helps me to get those like repetitions, which is helpful for memorizing. Something else I did was there is a new landing page for Google Classroom. So currently still building this Google Classroom integration and working with schools on it. There's now like a new resource for schools to be able to like learn about it and for this to like show up in Google for them. So if you ever have someone that's interested in Google Classroom and like using it with Type the Word, feel free to just like point them to this page. Hopefully that can be helpful to them. And then there's three small things that I also changed this month that I just want to point out to you. So one is bookmarks are now specific to like an actual book of the Bible. I essentially made chapter marks the first time I made them. So it was basically like these were unique by chapter. Now they're unique by book, which is great because if you're like typing through 4 chapters in a row, before it would like save bookmarks for each of them when you really just need the latest place you've typed. And then there's also a new thing. If you accidentally like create an action outside of your goal and you want it to be in a goal, you can easily move it to be in that goal. So like, for example, this Genesis 1:1, I can now move to my Master the Tongue goal. And if I go here, you can see that new action is created and it is within my goal. And this also works for, like I can move it out of this goal, yada, yada. And then the last thing I fixed was multi-chapter actions now work. So there was some like parsing problems before, but I can now like head to an action and like the correct text will be shown. And I know that that's like, of course it should be shown, but there were some edge cases where it wasn't last month. So anyway, that's kind of a rundown of everything that's changed in the past month. Forecasting to May, like what I'm working on is there's been some requests for basically being able to like work through a plan of like what you're typing. So for example, someone requested like being able to just like type through all the Psalms. Like the Book of Common Prayer has like I think it's 30-day or 60-day list of like what to read in the Psalms. And so I want to make it so that you can quickly create kind of like generic, like type through a book type plans. And then also more specific, like the 60 days through the Psalms from the Common Book of Prayer type of like plans. So if you have plan ideas, like things that you think would be helpful to other people and like things you want to be able to type through, and whether that's like resources from like different like I'm trying to think, like the Bible Project has like a specific plan or like a chronological plan, or if you have any ideas or things that you think I should consider when I'm creating this feature, please don't hesitate to reach out and share that with me. I want to make it as good as I can. So anyway, I will see you guys in June. Hope you have a blessed May. Thanks.